Welcome to Embrace Your Inner Boldness, the podcast dedicated to empowering you to live confidently, embracing all parts of who you truly are. I'm Melissa Henning-Frank, and I'm the founder, success coach, and consultant of Becoming Bold, LLC, and you can count on me to be your guide on this incredible journey of self-discovery and transformation. Let's get right to it. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast where we stop tiptoeing around life and start reclaiming the power we were born with. I'm your host, Melissa, and today's episode is one I believe your heart has been waiting for. This episode has a meditative and introspective quality to it, so if now is not a good time for you to slow down and really think about the questions I'm posing for you, just pause it and come back later when the time is better for you. I want to ask you a question. So take a deep breath and ask yourself, who were you before the world told you who to be? Before someone told you to stop talking so much? Before someone labeled you as too sensitive? Before you were taught to dim your light to make others comfortable? Who were you? This question, it's not just poetic, it's a key to your freedom. Let me take you back for a moment. I was that kid who got talks too much on every report card. And it's funny because at home I didn't say much at all. I was in the middle of surviving a chaotic household, a place where emotions weren't safe and curiosity could be punished. School was my outlet. And it was my rebellion. It was my voice trying to exist somewhere, even though it still got me in trouble. I remember once in Catholic school, I asked a question about the Bible that didn't quite fit the script. And it was an innocent question, really, but I was shamed in front of the class. I was told I was being blasphemous. And that really stuck with me. It wasn't just the embarrassment, but it was the message underneath. Don't ask too much. Don't be too much. So I learned to shrink. I learned to smooth the edges and become whoever people needed me to be. And in most cases, that was quiet, agreeable, easy. That is, until I went on the opposite side of the coin for a short while in my teenage years and became rebellious, defensive, put my armor up in such a way that turned me into a bit of a hard-hearted warrior looking for redemption for what I'd been through. And that version of me was pretty fierce and scrappy. I'm not necessarily proud of that. I mean, there needs to be a good balance between scrappy and sweet. But relatively speaking, I really wasn't scrappy for too long. Life broke me back down to the quiet, agreeable, people-pleasing codependent I was while I was growing up. I was always trying to fix other broken people because that's who they needed me to be. Until one day, I asked the question of my higher self to help me find my next assignment. And I heard this message loud and clear. You are your assignment. I'm getting goosebumps right now, even just saying that out loud. That was the catalyst I needed to begin my healing to finally become who I was. And let me tell you something, my friend. Becoming who others need you to be is not the same as becoming who you are. Here's the truth. Your boldness isn't something you have to create. It's something you return to. So I want to ask you again, and this time, I want you to really listen inward. Who were you before the world interrupted? Let's go back to that little version of you. What did they love? What made them feel alive? What got them into trouble? Not because it was bad, but because it was bold. Were they loud and silly? Were they curious, always asking why? Were they the ones climbing trees or making up songs on the playground? What was their dream before life handed them scripts to follow? You see, we're all born knowing who we are. And then the world happens, conditioning happens, programming happens, culture, family, trauma, responsibilities, and roles. But that bold little you, they're still there. and they're waiting for permission to come back out. Let's do something together. If you're in a space where it's safe to pause, close your eyes. Picture your 7-year-old self. What are they wearing? What's in their hand? How do they move through the world? Now ask them this. What do you want me to remember? Let them speak. Now one more question. What were you punished or shamed for that was actually your gift? You don't have to share this with anyone, but if it moved something in you, write it down. Speak it out loud. You can DM me if you want someone to hold space for your words. If this didn't connect with you, or if you didn't get any messages, don't give up. You might put this aside for now and come back to it later. Let me say something, as they say, with my whole chest. Boldness is not becoming someone new. It's unearthing who you've always been. It's looking at the places where you've hidden and saying, I don't want to live in a version of me that was built to survive. It's hearing the voice that says, who do you think you are? And answering with a soft, powerful smile, I am returning. I'm not asking you to burn it all down today. I'm inviting you to begin again, to remember, to reclaim, to be bold enough to be you, without apology, without shrinking, without waiting for permission. Because the truth is, you were born bold, you were born whole, and you were born worthy. Who were you before the world told you who to be? Go get them. If this episode stirred something in you, I want to hear about it. DM me on Instagram or Facebook. You can find me under Becoming Bold LLC and tell me, what did your 7-year-old self want you to remember today? And if you're not on the Becoming Bold Blueprint email list yet, grab the link in the show notes. It takes 2 seconds. Do it now before the day gets away from you. You know how it goes. If you don't do it now, you're going to forget to do it. There's a free guide waiting for you and lots more support to help you reconnect with your boldest self. Remember, boldness isn't loud, it's real. And you, exactly as you are enough. Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep being bold and be sure to be kind to your mind. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Embrace Your Inner Boldness. I hope you found inspiration and actionable tips to help you live more confidently. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on the latest insights and empowering stories. Please take a moment to also leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and be able to continue bringing you more content that uplifts and motivates. Empowering yourself and/or your team starts with embracing your inner boldness. When we stop playing small, we open the door to limitless potential. Remember, the only limit to your greatness is the one you set for yourself. Stay bold, stay fearless, and let's make this journey unforgettable.